Welcome to Music with Mrs. Avery. Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to continue to learn how to analyze the notes on the lines and spaces of the bass clef staff. In your last lesson, you learned how to analyze the line notes. And so in this lesson, you are going to learn how to analyze the notes in the spaces. But before we get started, you are going to need two items. You are going to need a lined piece of notebook paper and a pencil. So go ahead and pause this video so that you can go and get your materials. Now that you have your materials, let's get started. You are going to use those lines on your notebook paper and you are going to draw two staves. Remember, staves is the plural of staff. Okay, make sure that you are tracing those lines so that they are nice and neat. That will ensure that you have a staff that is evenly spaced out, okay? Make sure you are using pencil and not marker. Remember, a staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces. So when you are finished, your paper should look like mine. If you need additional time for any reason during this video, you can pause it so that you can catch up. All right. All right, so now that you have drawn your staves neatly, we are going to get started. So we're going to label our work. We're going to call this space notes. Okay, so go ahead and title your paper. Make sure that you're spelling it correctly. Awesome, and we are going to get started. So we see that there are 4 spaces in a staff. I'm going to fix this one to make it a little bit neater. Okay, 4 spaces. We always count from the bottom to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's start today by drawing in our notes in each space. So we'll start in space 1. Then we'll go to space 2. Space 3, and space 4. Now, I'd like for you to check. Make sure that your notes are drawn neatly. Make sure that your space notes touch both the top and bottom line. They should fill up the entire space. Also, each of your notes should be evenly spaced out. They should not be on top of each other or really close or touching. Okay, and make sure they are all the same size. And they should be the same size, especially if you use those blue lines on your notebook paper to trace. All right. Once you have completed that, you're going to get your hand out, look at your palm, turn your arm sideways, make sure that pinky is on the bottom. So today we're going to use the spaces between our fingers to represent the spaces on our staff. So we're going to count them from the bottom to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you do that with me? Here we go. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one more time. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. So we have another sentence for our space notes because when you put them together, they don't create a word like our treble clef space notes do. So our sentence is, all cows eat grass. That's a pretty easy sentence to remember, right? Let's say it together. All cows eat grass. So this time, instead of counting, let's say one word of each part of our sentence and we'll move to each space as we change words. Here we go. All cows eat grass. Let's do it again and go. All cows eat grass. You got it. So let's start analyzing these notes here on our bass clef staff. So we look at this first note, we see that it is in space 1. Hands out, we count 1. Now we say our sentence. All cows eat grass. Well, which word did we say? All. And all begins with the letter A. So we're going to label that note with a capital A. Remember, we always label our notes with capital letters. Excellent. And if for any reason I'm moving too fast, please make sure you pause to catch up. Let's move on to the second note. Let's count which space it's in. 1, 2. Hands out. Let's count. 1, 2. Let's say our sentence. All cows eat grass. Well, which word did we say in space 2? Cows. That's right. So we know that cows begins with the letter C. You got it. Remember, we always label our notes in a straight line too, underneath line 1 of the staff. Moving on, let's count. 1, 2, 3. That note in the third space. Let's count our fingers. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And let's say our sentence. All cows eat grass. What word do we say in space 3? Eat. That's right, and eat begins with the letter E. Great, great work. And now let's count. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've got a note in that fourth space. Hands out, same routine. Let's count first. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time, let's say our sentence. All cows eat grass. That's right, we said grass in that fourth space. So we are going to label this note G. So take a minute, double check your work, make sure it is nice and neat. And let's review how to analyze the notes on the bass clef staff, those space notes on the bass clef staff one more time. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say our sentence together. All cows eat grass. Now, on your bottom stave, you are going to continue practicing drawing the bass clef. Do you remember the other name for the bass clef? The F clef. And the bass clef shows us where the F line is. So let's just quickly review. We're going to count up to line 4, draw our dot. Then all the way to the left of the dot, we are going to draw half of a heart. Make sure it touches line 5, comes down past line 2. Then we're going to add our 2 dots. Remember, those 2 dots must surround that 4th line because that 4th line is line F. That's why the bass clef is also known as an F clef. So I would like for you to take your pencil and continue practicing to draw bass clefs on the bottom stave. Make sure that they are all drawn neatly. They are the same size and they are evenly spaced out. Please do not draw them on top of each other so that they are touching. Once you have finished drawing and practicing your bass clefs, you are going to take a picture of your completed work from this lesson and you are going to upload it as an attachment to this assignment. I can't wait to see your work. Thanks for joining me.